Hi folks, hopefully, just a quick one. This is going to be the update for what I have been painting recently. All of this has been painted. It needs basing now. It's at that stage. There's enough here that I can get the base is painted and then flocked the same as this table here. That'll take me a day, maybe two. That'll be my weekend project, so to speak, I think. So what have we got here? First off, the Bretonnian Men-at-Arms, Bretonnian archers, excuse me, burping again, were painted by the chap I bought the army off. It's a nice enough paint job, don't need to change it. I've painted the shields. I tried painting the armorial device of the De Clare family, historical family, ancestors of mine, and I'll just put him there because he's going to be a pain in the backside. Just try and get back in with that banner. Unit leader as well, I'll show you. Nice. Yeah, ancestors of mine, that's why I wanted that device. However, it was an absolute pain in the backside to paint, so they've just got red shields. I may get one of those, if you've seen them. I don't know the exact name of them, but it's like a stamp. People use them for putting, instead of transfers for shoulder pads for Space Marines, they use those. It's basically like a stencil. Looks really good. I've had a look at the stencils. You do get chevrons on there, chevronels. So I may do that. I'm not too sure yet. They're not, you don't pay the earth for them either. I think it's about 40, 50 quid, something like that. But obviously it lasts forever, hopefully. So yes, that's the Bretonnians that you can see here. These I painted. The stakes with, there's braziers on there as well, which are separate rules in the Bretonnian army list. But I'll just pay, I think it's 50 points in total for braziers and stakes. So they're for the archers. So what have I painted in total? So right at the back here, we've got a squad of Eldar Guardians for the Iron and Craft World. They are part of Force Point 1. There's the 10 Guardians and then the weapon platform. I need to paint I've got all of the weapons for the platform. They just slot into the top there. So, I can change whichever force I write down for each army. They can have different weapon platforms. I'll probably just go missile launchers, like it's fairly, utilitarian kind of weapon, isn't it? It's a big word for a Friday afternoon. So there's a Guardian squad. Then I've got 5 Wraithguard here. These Wraithguard took no time at all to paint up, really. That's why I went on. Even the Guardians, I did those in two sets of 5, because it took me quite a while to paint the War Spanish Succession dismounted dragoons and cavalry. There's a lot of different paints for those units. Small amount, but in the time it took me to paint those, I got the Guardian squad in total and the Wraithguard squad in total. There were also scouts for Astral Claws here. That's the only that is the only Badab War stuff on this part of this batch. Is what it is. I'll hopefully get some more soon. Terminators for the Absolutist Crusade. Is he pointing at you? That's weird to point you now. That's my Arnie, the Terminator. Get to the chopper. Yeah, that kind of pose. My niece Sasha built them. So it's her fault. He looks amazing. Right. So yes, I think that's everything that I have painted. Like I say, it needs basing now, and that will be my weekend job, so to speak. Now, I use these trays. I've put him in the way, haven't I, really? Fairly easy to shift them around. Carry them from the shelves and stuff like that. How many of these will I drop off? So I've shown you what I have painted. These are This is not quite a tray, this is my painting mat, which I'm trying not to get all over the place. So these are the next batch. All them in pretty much, yeah, that'll do. We're good. Right, so up front we've got Iron Warriors, the start of the Iron Warriors really. I have Legionnaire Squad, which, do I have Legionnaires as the first force point? It might be force point 2. And this chap, he's from the old Dark Vengeance box set. I'm going to use as either the Master of Executions, because he's got a lovely big axe, or the Exalted Champion, because he's got a lovely big axe, and I can use him in different forces. I'll use the same ninja, you know, I mean, if that makes sense. There for the Absolutist Crusade campaign, as are more Wraithguard. I do have another unit of Wraithguard, which, considering the amount of time it didn't take me to paint these guys, I'll probably paint 10 Wraithguard as part of this batch. Again, for the Absolutist Crusade. The only things for the Badab on Badab campaign on this are the 2 Astral Claws Bikers that you can see there. One's for force point 1, one's for force point 3, I believe it is. I'm still on with the Ogre Bonehead. Kind of giving them a colour scheme now. It's purple and like a beige kind of colour, I think I'm colourblind to hell, so need to be skin and some touch-ups here and there, stuff like that. But he's a slow burn project because I can't remember the last time I played Blood Bowl, but for some reason I bought him late last year, and yeah, pain in the ass to put together again, like the Terminators were really, but it is what it is. Yeah, so that's the 40k stuff, Blood Bowl stuff, the Ogre all the way. Unit of Bretonnian Knights, as you can see, 6 of them to form a lance. There isn't a musician in this group because I can add this to the other 6 that I've got to make one massive 12 strong unit. That unit does have a musician and a unit leader with a sword. This one has a unit leader. It's going to be a paladin with the special lance. Can't remember the name of it now. But that is how he is armored. You can tell he's the leader. He doesn't have a helmet on, and there is a banner here. The other unit also has a banner. What I can do is if I make the 12 strong unit, one of the banners can be another paladin with the battle standard. I'll run it that way. But for now, like I say, just 6 of them. They'll be painted a variety of colours, but I mentioned in the last Bretonnian kind of thing, obviously he's got his own shield, but on the horse there are 4 shields in total, 2 on this side, 4 large shields. There's lots of small shields as well. So even if this guy, let's say I painted him blue and white, the front shields and his shield will be his own heraldry. The back ones, however, I will try and do with the declare chevrons. That's the plan. Whether I can do it or not, like I say, I might get that stamp kind of thing at a later date and repaint them. So, and these guys, Cold One Knights, now they're actually separate. I've kept them separate because I want to paint them, and then like the French cavalry, paint them like so, and then just glue them on at the end. They, looks wise, they look amazing. I love how they look. I was a bit concerned about the hole in his head, and then when I looked at the box, there's actually like a crest kind of thing that's supposed to go on there that I haven't put on. Totally missed. But I think they look better like that than having a daft crest. Well, he does look like he's asleep on his, there we go, on his cold. Right, so yeah, there's 5 of them, unit leader. I mentioned before that I didn't see on the sprue the arm for the sword. I would have gone that route had I not been a blind bastard. Also mentioned how much I love this banner. It looks very like Arabic kind of Moorish kind of, you know, the Saracens, Crusaders and whatever. Looks very North African, so I don't know whether to do like some kind of colour scheme that would match that, but you know, quick recap about how I want to paint these. Obviously the Cold War Nights, the cold ones themselves, I'm going to paint in a cold colour scheme, so it's going to be like, I'm going to use that Pilar blue and Athematic blue and stuff like that, and then maybe the odd dab of Talisar blue along the back for some of the darker scales. All the leather work will just be lead belcher. It'll just be snake white leather contrast. The reins and stuff, like say the saddle, high pommels on the saddle. High pommels because does he have stirrups? He's got the moulding on his feet, yeah. So yeah, say that because the Romans didn't have stirrups, but they had huge pommels on the horses for holding them while they were in battle and stuff. Anyway, I digress as ever. So yeah, so we've got start of the Iron Warriors, more Eldar, more Bretonnians, Astral Claws bikers, attack bikes, and the start of the Dark Eldar. And like I say, I'll probably do a second unit of Wraithguard. The rest of the Eldar that I have base coated white, I could do some of those as well. That's the Warlock Skyrunner, Autarch, 5 Dire Avengers, and a Wave Serpent. Yeah, that's not a lot at the moment. I'm just trying to work out how long that will take me. That might be the end of next month by the time I've finished what Eldar I have at this stage, if that makes sense. The Iron Warriors, I've still got, you know, Hellbrute, Terminators, Terminator Lord. I've got Chaos Lord, a Sorcerer, and a Dark Apostle. And a unit of Warp Talons at this stage. So like I say, I'm hoping they don't take too long. It will be a simple brass trim. Be a brass trim on the edges, which will probably take a long time because obviously look at all that trim. I will do so the shoulder pads with a symbol already. I'll probably just go around that symbol with a yellow. The other shoulder pad will be black and yellow hazard stripes, which are a lot easier than chevrons, believe me. And then I found a load, and I mean a load, of all transfers for Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines. So I'm not going to run out of Iron Warriors transfers. So yeah, Iron Warriors transfers, you know, the metallic skull on top of the chevrons probably for that unit, yeah. Still need to buy some transfers for the Astral Claws and the Red Scorpions that I've got. I may get in touch with that chap at Northallerton about buying what I was supposed to buy at the end of last month before the absolute debacle that wasn't my trip to Northallerton. I've had a look on Facebook and I think they're still up for grabs, so I may be cheeky, very cheeky, because I don't know whether he thinks I'm taking the piss about the trains and that, but honest to God, it was an absolute day from hell. And no, it wasn't Friday the 13th, it was the the Friday before Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th wasn't actually that bad, I don't think. Oh, just knocked the camera. And then I've got this, and there's two smaller buildings like this over there. These are from Pegasus Hobbies. They are 1/72 in scale. I don't know if you can just make that up. So these are really for World War II stuff. They're Russian buildings. I do have a lot of Russian tanks at that scale. Don't have any infantry. I find painting 20mm, which is what 1/72 scale infantry is, tedious at best. I just can't get my head around it now. My niece Sophie built this and painted the outside of the walls with Wildwood, contrast. Well, I painted over with a cheap B&Q Hessian colour on those tester pots, and then she's gone over with the Wildwood on that building. I went over Nasdreg yellow for the here, basically these type of buildings. Thatch for the thatch on the roof. I need to go basilicum grey on the chimney. A little bit of touch up here and there. I'll redo the ridge in a wood colour. Probably snakebite leather as a nice wood colour there. The inside, this will be glued to this base as well. It's a serving mat. Is it a serving mat, something like that? It's what you put your dinner on. It's just plain, but it's like a plastic cover on that side, which is quite good for, you know, it's hard wearing. And it's cork stuck to the top, which, you know, I've used it for other buildings, which I'll probably make show at a later date. So yeah, this will be stuck to this. I have some what the Americans would call popsicle sticks, some ice lolly sticks, which I'll obviously cut the ends off, and I'll make like a wooden floor on the inside. Paint the walls white on the inside, like a whitewash, basic, very basic. Although there's a chimney, there isn't a fireplace, obviously, it's just a big empty room, because the roof is supposed to be stuck to this, but I take them off so I can put figures inside. Simple. The outside will be painted, will be finished just like this table, just like everything else. Painted green and then flocked with the same flock. And like I said, I've got this big building, there's two smaller buildings. The smaller buildings will get their own base, and I'll put them on together. I've got things like tufts and little flowers and stuff like that that I can put around the edge. Yeah, and it'll be basic, but like I say, should be alright. I've got, like I say, plenty of other buildings. Don't know if I've got one within reach that I can show you that I've finished. No, they're all on shelves and that. Maybe another time. So yeah, so that's what I have painted. That's my project for the weekend, is basing those now. I've got the base colours on, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 infantry units, 1 special character, 2 bikes. And I'll probably do another unit of Wraith Guard on top of that as well. So yeah, so that's it for this update. Still nearly 20 minutes, bloody hell. I wish I could stop talking sometimes, but I'm sure some of you wish, if you get this far anyway. So yeah, thanks for your time. If you want to see how I'm getting along, all the projects, more than one now, isn't it? How these projects are going. I'm not too far off having a little game or something, to tell the truth. But obviously I'll get used to the rules before I subject any of you lot to me checking rule books every 2 minutes. Which, to be fair, I'll probably do anyway. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see which codex and which editions, won't we? So yeah, ciao for now, folks. Thanks for your time. Hope we have a cracking weekend. Cheerio.